Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Everyday Husband Quotes, the channel for marriage advice, marriage entertainment, and everything else marriage. Hey, guys, and welcome back to the channel.
In March 13th to be exact, I was at work as I'm normally doing on a Monday, and there was a knock at my door. And I'm thinking, okay, this is important. So I answered the door, and my nurse asked me if I could step out of the room. In stepping out of the room, she proceeded to show me a blog. And the blog was Dr. Jackie Caught Cheating at Hilton Head. Well, that was funny to me because I knew the Sunday before I had been doing a fitness event, but she insisted that I read closer. And in reading the blog closer, I realized the pictures included my husband with another woman that was not me. And the positions were very compromising. They were not those pictures you wanted to see. Now, should I have had an emotion and had a rage or tears? I didn't. I was very reserved and I said, okay, and returned to the room and proceeded to see patients. Now, many people would think, oh my gosh, she cried, she cursed, she screamed. I didn't. I concluded my day by seeing every patient on my schedule. I'm sure the world knows we started out with like, okay, we can't do this. This is not, well, I started out with, I can't do it. I needed some space. We separated, we spent some time apart. And then we came back together, which I didn't think it was easy because we came back together and I was still at that point past the hurt and got to the angry part. And I don't know if people realize that you leave hurt and you go to angry. Like I was feeling waiting to exhale, like I could burn some stuff down. And we never told people that I had a waiting to exhale moment where I tried to throw everything you had over the rails and put it in the car and set it on fire.
Well, I'm glad you did that when I wasn't there.
Oh, no, you were very much there.
I wasn't there.
You were very much there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So Curtis wasn't there, but he was there. And I was so upset that I decided everything he owned, I was going to throw it over the rail because it was too big to walk down the stairs. So I threw it over the rails. I was going to burn up the stuff. And later when the police told me I couldn't burn the stuff down, I changed that. So we're going to move. Because I want the world to know that marriages take work. Marriages are not easy, and anybody who's married and who has been in it for any time will know that it takes work. I felt the moment that I found out, but I don't think we've ever really talked much about what you were doing. But what I wanted to start with is, what do you think causes breakdowns in marriages, or even just make it to us? What are those things that you can identify that may have caused us to get to that place?
I would probably say that when couples start to take each other for granted, you stop communicating, you stop listening, you stop hearing. You listen, but you stop really hearing each other. Mm-hmm. Making it about us, I could come to you and try to explain to you about something that was going on in a relationship. And I would feel like you would say, even though you may not say, you would probably, I would interpret it that, yeah, I'll get to it. And after so much of that not listening, it can cause a separation. And for us,
And
or
by
for me,
separation, you mean mental,
a distant,
physical?
emotional, an emotional separation. And with that emotional separation comes a physical separation in terms of we could be in the same house together physically, but not be there. And I think for us, over a period of time, we would have disagreements or arguments. We would never solve them. We would kind of brush it aside and kind of go on because life was so busy for the both of us. You know, I was coaching, teaching at the time, and you, as you're continuing to do, you're saving the world.
Right.
And I think it was at a time where we just lost that connection with each other. And I'm probably not going to say we. I'm going to say I lost that connection.
And you know, I appreciate both of us. And I want the world to know we didn't just take it for granted. We tried counseling. We went to counseling. We went to workshops. We did everything that the world tells you that you should do to reconnect. And we tried all of that. I think we went to counselors where we didn't create a connection with the counselor. And I'm going to say me, I went in feeling like I'm a physician. I took all these psychology classes. I know what they're asking me. I know what they want to hear. So we did a lot of that, and we took a lot of that for granted. So at what point in a relationship, and I can't speak for a man and I can speak for women because I talk to them every day, do you feel like, okay, that's just not enough? That person is not meeting my needs mentally, emotionally, physically, relationally, my needs are being met, and you find yourself in, and I'm not going to answer the question. Tell me.
Well, there's periods in every relationship that you're going to go through periods where that's going to happen. Either I become involved in so many different things that are taking my attention away from the house, or you will. And you just have to figure out and kind of weather those periods. Now, you can't allow that to become the norm. I mean, it has to be. It has to be a period where you get through that and you get back to the other side. And I think for us, we didn't get back to the other side. That continued to be the norm for us. And that divide started to happen, and that divide grew and it grew and it grew. And yes, we did all the counseling, but I don't know if we were ready for the counseling at the time, because we certainly heard the counselors, but we went there with the attitude that I want that counselor to fix you. I'm fine. All right. And I'm sure you went there. Yeah, you need to fix Curtis.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. I'm not doing anything wrong, or I'm fine. And I can speak for you a little bit on this. You went in thinking that you were smarter than any of the counselors.
Oh, I was.
You were not listening. And I could tell that until we got to the point where this entanglement happened. Once it happened and we really found a counselor that started to really, I guess, probe and go back and find history and kind of probe, that it caused us to open up and really take a look at ourselves individually and as well as our relationship.
As type A women, as bosses, do we make our husbands feel a certain way being that person?
I can't speak for all men. If you're saying, do you make your husband feel intimidated or feel, no. I mean, I would rather have a type A or a very strong woman than have a very weak woman.
How does it make you feel?
But I want you to understand and internalize what you said too. Okay. All right. Now, hearing that, it tells me, where do I fit in? Okay. All right. Is there a place for me? Because if your life is being fulfilled with all the extra things and the helping and all the things that make you happy, what's my purpose? Okay. And I would say to you, and I would say to people everywhere, all right, you still, if you are married, you're involved in a relationship, that relationship should still be number one. It still has to have priority in your life. Because if it's not, then things can happen and things will happen if you don't make that person feel like he's needed, wanted, and is important to you.
How would you say you would tell me, if you were talking to me, to reestablish trust? Because again, the question I've been asked is, do you have 100% trust in your husband? And I have to be honest with the world. I'm 98.5%, but there are triggers, and we talked about it when your phone goes off in the middle of the night. Or if I see you get up and take a call out of the room, 99% of the time I'm cool. But it's always that little something in your head to say, And so when I'm asked, do I trust you again? I really ask, do you trust anybody 100%? And so the question becomes, do I trust you 100%? And I'm definitely working on that, because this is always going to be a journey. But I ask you, how do you tell me to reestablish trust?
Well, first and foremost, I can't tell you to reestablish trust. That's something, trust in anyone is something that's earned by your actions and by what you do. Mm-hmm. Now, I hope after the entanglement, as they call it now, that I displayed a character and a belief that you could trust me again. But it was a long road. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months later, you were there and you were trusting. And it was certain things that I had to do to make sure that I did them so that you would be able to have that confidence. And it's built brick by brick, piece by piece. It's built over time. Whereas I can't have screw ups in trying to build that bridge again. It's about doing the little things. It's about being transparent, and it's about being responsible and letting you know about my actions and the things that I'm doing, my whereabouts, et cetera, until that's built where it becomes more the norm than the exception.
Now,